Are you sure you want to move to Boise, Idaho? There are a lot of things to hate about Boise, and I should know. I was born here. I'm Laura Triratnobus with John L. Scott Real Estate Boise, and here are my top 10 reasons for hating my hometown. You may be guilty of reason number 1 yourself. A lot of people are. So keep watching and see if you are one of the repeat offenders. Okay, reason number 10. Boiseans are addicted to comfy, casual clothing. Now, don't get me wrong, we do own some nice clothes. We just can't be bothered to dress up unless maybe it's a wedding or not even a funeral. And maybe at the wedding, the bride and groom might show up in hiking boots or cowboy boots or running shoes. In fact, if you're planning to get married in Idaho and you do want your guests to dress up, you better be very specific about the dress code in the wedding invitations. Boise really is a very casual place. I think the governor may possibly be the only man left in Boise to wear a suit and tie on a regular basis. And even the governor changes into jeans and a cowboy hat when he's not at work. Number 9. The weather in this part of Idaho is incredibly dry, and the summers are getting hotter and hotter. As I film this video, we are on our 3rd week of 100 plus temperatures, and it's supposed to be like that through the end of August. We've actually broken a record for the number of days in a row of 100 degrees and above. It's very dry. You're going to need eye drops, lip balm, and plenty of water to drink if you plan to live in Boise. It really is that dry. We're actually a high desert climate, and in the summers, it really is that hot. Reason number 8 is also weather related. Our weather, especially in the spring and fall, is unbelievably changeable, like 4 seasons all in one day, through at least 6 months of the year. You can get up on a March morning to walk your dog at 8 a.m. and find yourself putting on your thermals underneath your fleece-lined leggings and your wool sweater because the temperature is well below freezing. But by afternoon, when you go out to take the dog for their second walk of the day, well, guess what? You have to change into shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops, and the dog doesn't want to go out to walk again because it's so darn hot. But remember, as we say in Idaho, if you don't like the weather, just wait an hour. Reason number 7 for hating Boise is all those annoying potato jokes. You just have to get used to them, or better yet, go get a t-shirt that says, "No haters, just taters." Embrace your inner spud, people. Can you believe we used to have the motto, "Famous potatoes" on our vehicle license plates? I mean, I love a good baked potato as much as the next person, and I do recognize how much economic benefit Idaho derives from our potato crop. But with all of our beautiful natural resources, all of our scenery, all the other things we have to brag about here in Idaho, you'd think we could have found a somewhat less stereotypical license plate motto than "Famous potatoes." We eventually changed to our current standard license plate motto, "Scenic Idaho." Better, but hardly inspiring. By the way, want to draw attention to the fact that you aren't an Idaho native? Well, just keep those out-of-state license plates on your vehicle after you move here. Trust me, we do notice. Here's reason number 6. Boiseans and Idahoans in general seem to drive nothing but pickup trucks and SUVs. Sure, they're very practical, and we Idahoans love our outdoor activities, but they're also kind of boring, and all those trucks and SUVs make it hard to find your own vehicle in the parking lot at the mall or at Costco. Thank goodness we have a few hardy individualists who drive Subaru Outbacks, and we do have the occasional Corvette. I think we even have a Corvette club. The other thing about Idaho cars is that most of them seem to be white or silver. I have no reason or explanation for that. Maybe white and silver were the only colors that were available during the pandemic. Maybe they're the cheapest colors. I don't know. The other thing about Idaho's pickup truck obsession is that half of them are so big they don't fit into a standard garage bay. You either have to park your truck in your driveway or buy a home with a big RV bay, even though you don't have an RV. RV bays are pretty cool, and they have lots of uses besides storing RVs, but it does seem a little crazy that pickups have gotten to be so big and so long and so tall that they won't fit into a standard garage. You'll hate reason number 5, and honestly, so do I. It's Idahoans' addiction to complaining and moaning about people from other states, especially the big state that begins with the letter C, moving to our state. Now, this is nothing new. It's been going on since the 70s, when California-based tech companies set up manufacturing facilities near Boise and transferred their employees to Idaho. The pandemic only increased the number of new arrivals as people fled from states with more restrictive pandemic rules and regulations than Idaho had. I like to think that while we do enjoy complaining about new residents, deep in our hearts, we do appreciate the compliment that the newcomers are paying to our beloved state. You wouldn't come here if you didn't think it was something special. As a Boise realtor, I have worked with many people moving to Idaho and to Boise in particular. I've heard their stories as to why they're leaving their home state, why they're coming here, the reasons why they want to move. Our beautiful outdoors, our self-reliant lifestyle, and our respect for personal freedoms are at the top of the list of motives for relocating to Idaho. But I really do wish we native Idahoans would stop complaining about the newcomers. By the way, if this video is helpful to you, please subscribe to my channel, give the video a like or a thumbs up. That's helpful to me. Thank you. Reason number 4. Boiseans have a fixation with the amazing Greenbelt, which runs alongside the Boise River for some 20 miles, as well as a fixation with our amazing system of public parks. Parks and hiking trails are everywhere in Boise and in the foothills that surround us to the north and the northeast. Newcomers can feel left out if they don't own hiking boots or a pair of running shoes. So when you move here, get yourself down to the nearest outdoor store, and we do have plenty of those, and get some gear. You'll feel like a native Boisean in no time. You may even decide to enter one of our famous races, like the Race to Roby Creek, also known as the toughest race in the Northwest. This race is held each year in April. It's a grueling half marathon, mostly uphill, and since it's held in April, there may or may not be snow or rain or blistering sun. The changeable weather is part of the challenge in the Race to Roby Creek. Reason number 3 for hating Boise is related to reason 4, and that's our addiction to outdoor gear. The average Idahoan owns so much camping, hunting, fishing, shooting equipment, so many trailers and vehicles and kayaks and boats that there's no room in the garage for the pickup truck and the SUVs, even if your pickup truck isn't too big to fit into the garage. Drive through most neighborhoods and notice all the cars in the driveways. They're there because the garage is already full of stuff, just absolutely crammed full with your outdoor necessities. Honestly, it is a good idea to keep your car in your garage if you possibly can, but I do understand that for many people, that's simply not an option. Reason number 2 is kind of a scary one, and it has to do with wild critters coming right down into town. Because as more and more people have moved to the Treasure Valley, and that's the Boise metropolitan area, the coyotes, mountain lions, skunks, rattlesnakes, and other wild animals are being edged out of, or rather they're being hemmed in, and that means they sometimes end up in town, too close to humans for comfort. Big hawks, urban raccoons, and the occasional deer in the middle of the city make Boise a weirdly wonderful place to live. Just be prepared. Remember, you're sharing their home with them and with you. Finally, the number 1 reason you'll hate Boise. We are fixated on the pronunciation of our city's name. It's Boise, not Boise. There's no Z sound in the name. Get it right and you'll fit right in here in Idaho. Get it wrong and you will instantly identify yourself as a tourist or at least a newcomer. Well, that and the fact that you don't own a pair of hiking boots and your tiny urban car fits neatly into your garage. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.